Hello, my beautiful mums-to-be. Firstly, congratulations on such an exciting time. I am so excited for you and I am really happy to be with you through this special time and to train and connect with you along the way. So I really wanted to do this video for you because sometimes it can be a little nerve-wracking not knowing what you can and can't do in the classes. So I thought, let's just do a whole video so you know what to do when we go into our Pilates and bar classes. So depending on how pregnant you are, if you're in your first trimester, everything is safe for you to do, but it just depends on how you're feeling. So if you don't want to be doing any abdominal curls, don't do them. And if you don't want to be laying on your back, then don't do that as well. Above anything, you know your body the most. And so really trust your intuition and what you think is working for your body. If you're unsure, you can always talk to your doctor or you can drop me an email and just ask me any questions that you have. But first trimester, it's okay for you to be doing all the exercises. It just depends how you're feeling, if you're feeling a little nauseous or not. So just taking it day by day. For my mums that are in your second and third trimester, I don't want you to be laying on your back at all, and obviously no abdominal curling. So anything with a contraction of your spine coming forward, you want to be taking out. Also things like just getting up out of bed in the morning and coming down onto a mat is definitely important for you to do in a correct way, which I will show you in this video as well. The other thing, of course, I don't want you to be doing any jumping just because it puts quite a lot of pressure on your pelvic floor. So we do have all modifications in our classes that I do call out. But again, this video is just for you to have basically a library of exercises in your back pocket. So you know when I say, all right, everyone, we're gonna get into a full ab series, you can go, I'm not gonna do that ab series. I'm gonna do my prenatal flow instead. Okay, so first things first, when we come down into your mat, what I want you to do is, if we've already come down into a flow, say we're coming down, and I want you to do this with me, come into a downward dog, and then from there, lower the knees, untuck the toes. Now from there, the things that you can do in our Pilates and bar classes, if we're coming into a plank position, obviously I don't want you coming into a full plank because again, it puts too much pressure on your pelvic floor and your transverse. So what you could do here is you could come onto a 4-point kneel position. You could tuck the toes and you could hover your knees for about 5 seconds max. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, lower down. Maybe it doesn't feel right to do 5 seconds and you just want to do it for 1. Lift up, lower down. Lift up, lower down. If that doesn't feel right for you at all and you're feeling any pulling sensation, then you could take that out completely and you could come into some arm movement. So taking the arm up, lower down. And I really want you to do this with me so you can feel it in your body, just so it gets into your muscle memory and you remember these exercises when we come into the classes. So really strengthening your back muscles. This one's a perfect exercise because obviously when you're pregnant, everything is forward. And then when you have your baby, you're gonna be breastfeeding, nursing, and then also picking up and putting down your baby. So we don't really want to work your front line too much, but we really want to strengthen the back of the body to counterbalance you and to just fix your posture and to help support your spine. So this might be a nice one for you to come into if we're doing a plank series, or you could start to add a leg and an arm, testing your balance here. Maybe you're switching. You could do 10 on one side with little pulses and then 10 on the other. So that's a really nice series if we're ever in a plank series, coming into working your back. Now, when we get into anything on our back, you are going to turn around like this. And then obviously you're not going to ever come up like this, because essentially that's an abdominal curl. So even when you're going to sleep or getting out of bed, I want you to always make sure that you're coming onto your side first. And then if you are comfortable being on your back, you'll roll over this way. And then the same thing getting up, you're gonna roll over, place that hand down, and then come up. Try that with me. Come down, and then roll, and then come back, and up. And if you're not comfortable being on your back, that's also fine. What I want you to do is when we do come into a long series of being on your back, I don't want you to be facing on your back, especially if you're quite big and your baby's quite heavy. It's best to stay on your side. So working the side glutes, your glute med, is really important. So we could come into a whole clam series of lifting the knees up. We could lift and extend. We could draw little circles here. Any side series is really nice when you're coming into, if we're doing a full series of abdominal work or a bridges, clam is going to be your best friend here. Also, strengthening those glutes helps support lower back, so that's a really good one. If we are coming into any side planks, you could simply lift your hips up and then lower back down, and then lift it up and lower back down, and lift it up, lower back down. So that's a whole library of exercises that you can do when we're laying on our back doing abdominal work or bridges. The other thing is, if you just want to breathe and take that time out to just connect to your body, connect to your baby, that's also fine. You could take a child's pose, knees wide, and just lengthen out and breathe. Or you could come onto your knees, which I want you to do with me now. And I'm going to take you through this series of breathing, which is really one of my favorite exercises to do with mums, or mums-to-be. You would take one hand on your tummy and then one hand on your heart. And what I want you to do is just breathe. And then as you exhale, I want you to draw your belly button back towards your spine, hug your baby towards you, and then inhale. And exhale, hug your baby towards you. And again, inhale. Exhale, hug your baby in. One more time, nice work, inhale. Exhale. And release. So simply coming into your breath work throughout the classes at any time that you feel like, I'm just going to breathe today, that's something that you can do, and you just take your time out there. The other thing that you could do if you don't want to be coming down onto your mat, you could do a whole standing series. So let's pop up and I'll take you through a series that you can do. Just come on to all fours. And then tuck your toes, press back downward dog. Gently make your way up to stand. So doing things like squats is a really good one. So coming down and then up, down and up. So if I was doing 5 minutes of abs in any of the classes, you could come into this squat series. You could come down and hold and pulse. That's safe for you to do. And then the other thing is working your inner thighs and your pelvic floor. So rotating those legs externally out, bending down, stretching up. So we do this one a lot in our bar classes, which is great. And because I want you to work your inner thighs, your pelvic floor. So you could hold down, you could pulse, we could lift one heel and then the other heel, and rest. So again, the most important thing is you're taking it day by day. You're listening to your body and how you feel. Again, you above anybody knows what is best, and your intuition is never wrong. So make sure that you really stay in tune with what you're feeling. It's super important that you do keep moving through this pregnancy. And then of course, after pregnancy as well, which we can coach you on throughout entire pregnancy and then post-pregnancy too. So I am so excited for you, and training mums is one of my favorite things to do. So I'm so happy that you're a part of the classes, and I will see you again for the next class soon.